Hey guys. ELI'S.JYESTHA. We will be getting into the freak. This is, I don't know why it's going so slow. Still keep making me angry. This is so crazy. Like, what the freak? Like, did my screen just freaking freeze? Alright. This is my baby. My baby Mac. So, we're going to be getting into a slight video of the cons and the debilitation of the sun. So, we're going to go by, we're not going to go into the video, to watching the videos today. I'm just going to go on and tell you guys of, what is just some of the cons of a debilitated sun in astrology. Childhood fixed enemies from schools or of course from your soul. So childhood enemies from more so your schools or people who had a big play a part of your confidence, your ego, or just your ability to just express yourself. Right? Anyways, some cons are some cons is inhumane energy. And back on video 1, the nuclear bomb had took place, and that's negative connotations of a bad sun because of, I would say, anger. I would say spite. That is cons right there. Okay. Explosions. That has similarities with Mars, but the complexity is definitely the sun of explosions. Sustained unremovable soul characteristics. So if you have some sort of qualities about you that are not really the best characteristics within you, that is a debilitation of the sun, especially the aspects, and of course the sign that your sun is placed in the house will tell you the negative connotations. The next one is permanent expression of immaturity over one's soul. So adults can be immature, adults can be wrong, adults could be purely not right. It ties into a complexity within your soul of your livelihood, of not reaching some sort of maturity. So then it carries a part, of course, in your future or your presence of whoever you are right now on Earth. Another thing of a connotation of the sun is pure catastrophe, especially if like things like where it's a mass, things like we could tie that into Pluto or Mars or Venus, of course, where it's like mass shootings or 1,000 people die at one time, or like different things like that, right? The intake of detail, we could say, of those of each catastrophe, especially a one that ties into the element of fire, could be a reason why it evolves a negative connotation for the sun. Scars in one's physical or soul. So if you have, especially if they're childhood or your children's scars, it will tell you why, especially, okay, in what place, what house the scar may be on a body. That's the sun. Worn out. So if the sun is fixated, so it only directs. It has the same energy. So when I say that it has the same energy, it keeps the same fixed energy from birth to in the future. It keeps the same sustained energy. So it doesn't, even if it's negative, it doesn't really remove like that. So that's why Saturn has to come in and add in that flare up or that groundness of ego's maturity. And accountability fixed with no aspects towards Saturn definitely increase. So if you don't have aspects towards the sun in your chart, again, every chart is different, every minute is different, so every aspect is going to be definitely different. And accountability fixed, so like your egos, your soul, and accountability to express or admit that is a negative connotation towards the sun. Negative towards academics or soul's expression. So just, you're a part of a group, you don't like people hearing people, like happiness is the deprived moment for such people with bad sun. So even in the highlight of things going good, they can find things going wrong. Like they just want to see things explode or show madness. That is a kind of one of the ways of a poor judgment of the sun. The sun, again, for benefits of the sun, is, yes, it's intelligence. I should have put intelligence. But the non-benefits of the sun is stagnation or fixed in intelligence. So someone who is highly ignorant, and not just in ways of like they just, ignorance is broad, so don't get me wrong, everybody can have their ways of being ignorant, but what I'm trying to say is someone who is not trying to change your formats, or I would say identify with what's wrong with them, that could be bad. Negative connotation towards academics you could have. So if you hate school, or if you not just that straightforward, but if there was a problem, poor school, or not enough force for school, for academic study to help in one's life, then they will surely again, it's that ignorance thing that I said. but at the same time, it's not. Ignorance doesn't mean stupidity. It just means one is naive. Again, like one is just unaware. Okay, and it doesn't mean. And when I say that we're poor academic as far as sun, one, like, unawareness doesn't mean like one cannot connect with what they want to do. It's just they have too much awareness of what's most important to them in the current moment, in the current moment of time. So, hold on, Rain. Poor digestion is one. Poor habits. Unintelligible. So, someone you cannot learn from. That's not Jupiter, it's the sun. Sun, if they naturally express themselves, you can't learn anything, you know what I mean? Not happiness, not no negative thing, just nothing that is bliss. That's the sun. Souls exposed, self-ignorance. So, you ever been in a moment of a group, or when you were young, or just in general, it's just in general, to where you know, like, people can analyze, like, or just guess what's your ignorance. Here. I don't know what shit I'm gonna stop. But what was it? Oh yeah, ignorance. Ignorance is again we're in my soul's the soul of express the soul self ignorance. So here, take it. I don't want it. I'm trying to tell my baby I do not want this. Here. Take it. Here. So, where was I at? I forgot. Oh, so, I didn't mean self-ignorance. I just mean self-awareness. So, the lack of expressed awareness. That's what I mean by souls exposed self-ignorance. So, the lack of... No. Because you keep interrupting me. I'm trying to goddamn finish this off. The soul... increased attention. So, people who have attention problems, but in the sense of, like, too much. Hate or unidentification with innocence. With child's diseases or birth problems. But I'm just saying bad. I'm just saying like not just your children's. I'm just saying like if you had a child, when you was a child and you had something wrong with you, or your mother's okay, what's one thing you have something wrong with you, and you like, oh, I have this. Like, for example, I'm gonna tell y'all something personal. I have asthma. Like, I had it since birth. So, I'm saying it could be hereditary. So, what I'm trying to say is, it's not bad. What's wrong? It's not bad. It's not bad. I'm about to. We gotta go. We gotta go. But selfish or non-generous. The inability in general. Dramatic or inexperienced. Long-term diseases. That's more so Mars and Saturn too. But I'll get into the detail later of why it's the sun. Anyways, that's negative connotations for the sun, or debilitation for the sun. There are way more points. And we're out because my way. Stop. Peace. ELI'S.JYESTHA.